Royal family is known for its traditions, careful words, and well-planned announcements. So when something unexpected happens, it sends a wave of curiosity through the public. That's exactly what occurred when a sudden and mysterious message appeared on the official royal website. It simply read, "A formal announcement will be made at 6 p.m. No explanation. No clue about the topic. No hint of who would speak. In the world of royal affairs, this kind of silence is rare, and it usually means something big is coming. Reporters scrambled for information. Phones rang off the hook. Social media exploded with rumors. Was it about King Charles? Was someone stepping down, or stepping up? Even royal insiders were caught off guard. The palace had not informed journalists in advance. There were no talking points, no scheduled press briefings. Everyone was in the dark, and that made the anticipation even more intense. Tension grew, especially when it was revealed that Prince William and Princess Kate had skipped a public event earlier that same day. It might have seemed small at the time, but now it looked like part of something much bigger. At exactly 6 p.m., screens across the country lit up. But instead of King Charles or Queen Camilla, it was Prince William and Princess Kate sitting side by side in what looked like a modest office, not a palace. There were no royal trumpets, no fancy robes, and no background of royal guards or historic rooms. Just two people, looking calm and serious. William spoke first, with a strong voice. The monarchy is not just a symbol. It's a responsibility. His words were simple, but they carried weight. This wasn't a rebellion, it was a declaration. Kate followed with her own quiet strength. "This isn't about tradition," she said. "It's about trust." Together, their message changed the royal conversation overnight. The royal couple wasn't asking for loyalty, they were offering something deeper, honesty. And in a world where secrets often surround the crown, this moment felt truly powerful. It showed the people that William and Kate weren't waiting for a throne to lead, they were already stepping into their future roles. Then came the moment that truly shocked everyone. Kate made an announcement that carried the weight of royal history and the spirit of a beloved figure from the past. She introduced something called the Diana Initiative. At first, people thought it might just be a tribute to the late Princess Diana. But it quickly became clear that it was much more. The Diana Initiative wasn't about flowers, public statues, or one-time events. It was a bold plan to carry Diana's legacy into the future through real action. Kate explained that the initiative would support women's shelters, help low-income families, and give a voice to people who often go unheard. It wasn't about photo ops or royal charity galas. Kate promised to show up in person, to listen, to help, not for cameras, but because it was the right thing to do. It was the kind of work Diana was known for, but this time, it came with more structure and long-term planning. Kate wasn't trying to become Diana. She was building her own path, shaped by her own values and today's needs, but clearly inspired by her late mother-in-law. The Diana Initiative took the public by storm. Social media lit up with hashtags like #PeoplesQueen and #DianaLivesOn. People praised Kate for being hands-on and real, just like Diana was. But what really caught attention was how she wasn't waiting for permission. She didn't go through the usual palace process. She didn't wait for approval from King Charles or Queen Camilla. Instead, she took action. And that caused some tension behind closed doors. King Charles, who is battling cancer, was reportedly shocked. He wasn't angry, just surprised, and perhaps a bit hurt. He felt like the attention was slipping away from him. Queen Camilla, on the other hand, was more upset. She had spent years rebuilding her image, trying to gain respect after the scandals of the past. And now, Diana's name was back in a big way. It brought back old wounds and reopened old arguments. Camilla wanted the initiative brought under royal control, managed, softened, and made more traditional. But royal advisors warned against that move, fearing it would make the palace seem jealous or bitter. As the Diana Initiative grew in popularity, the silence from the palace became louder. No official praise. No support. No statements. Insiders began whispering that Kate had broken protocol. She had launched a massive global movement without even informing the king. And that was a big deal in royal circles. But Prince William stood firm. He told a close aide, "This isn't a discussion. It's a strategy." William wasn't looking for permission, he was leading with purpose. While some inside the palace felt uneasy, the public responded with enthusiasm. They saw William and Kate as the future, not just in title, but in action. They weren't just wearing crowns and waiting, they were taking steps to change what royalty means today. At a charity event, Queen Camilla was asked about the initiative. Her response was sharp: "The monarchy has always served with dedication, and we don't need to invoke the past to prove it." It sounded like a dig at Kate's decision to revive Diana's name so boldly. Within hours, that one comment created headlines and fueled stories of a royal divide. Despite the growing tension, Kate remained calm. A few days after Camilla's comment, Kate spoke at another Diana Initiative event. Her words were careful but strong. "This work isn't about the past," she said. "It's about the future we build together." She didn't name anyone, but the message was clear: Kate wasn't going to back down. The press picked up on the quiet war happening inside the palace. William and Kate were leading a public movement, while Charles and Camilla were losing the spotlight. The difference in vision was now out in the open. William believed the old ways weren't enough anymore. Charles was still holding on to tradition. Eventually, King Charles called a private meeting with William and his top aides. He asked why he hadn't been informed earlier and called the move a breach of royal protocol. William, again, didn't back down. He said, "This isn't about protocol. It's about survival." It was clear the younger generation was ready to lead differently, more openly, more boldly, and more connected to the people. What followed was a series of quiet leaks to the press. Sources close to King Charles painted William as reckless and impulsive. In response, William's team suggested Charles was stuck in the past and losing touch with modern values. It became clear that this wasn't just a family disagreement, it was a real shift in power. William instructed his team to run the Diana Initiative outside palace control. It was a bold move that showed how serious he was about change. Meanwhile, Charles reportedly told a close friend, "I've spent my life preparing for this, and now it's slipping away." The comment reflected a deeper truth: this wasn't just about a charity or a disagreement. It was about the future of the monarchy. Would it continue to follow tradition, or would it evolve into something more relatable, more human, and more honest? The public was watching closely. The Diana Initiative had started a quiet revolution, and the royal family couldn't stop it now. Just when the royal drama seemed to have reached its peak, Prince Harry stepped in. Although he had stepped away from royal duties, he publicly supported the Diana Initiative. He called it "Mum's Legacy in Action," a touching phrase that quickly made headlines around the world. But while the public embraced his words, behind the scenes, it stirred new tension. William was reportedly frustrated. He felt Harry should have spoken to him first before making a public statement. According to insiders, William told Harry during a phone call, "You can't just jump in now." It wasn't just about family, it was about strategy. Harry, however, didn't back down. He believed Diana's legacy belonged to both of them. This small moment revealed a lot about the ongoing tension between the brothers. It wasn't just about personal pain anymore, it was about who gets to shape the future of the monarchy. And now, both of Diana's sons had something to say, each in their own way. As the Diana Initiative gained momentum, it became more than just a tribute, it became a turning point. People saw Kate not just as a future queen, but as a present-day leader. William was no longer the waiting prince, he was already acting like a king in the making. Together, they had launched something powerful, something modern, something that touched the lives of ordinary people. But they also made it clear, they were doing this on their own terms. No palace approval. No outdated rules. Just purpose, passion, and people. For many, this felt like the monarchy's rebirth. But for others inside the palace, it was a challenge to the old system. The silence from King Charles and Queen Camilla spoke louder than any words. They were watching, unsure of how to respond to a younger royal generation that wasn't afraid to break tradition. The monarchy is changing, slowly, quietly, and without asking for permission. Whether that change will unite or divide the family remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, William and Kate have arrived, and they're not waiting in the wings anymore. While many around the world cheered William and Kate for their bold leadership, not everyone was convinced it was all about compassion. Some palace insiders and longtime royal analysts raised important questions. Was the Diana initiative really a heartfelt tribute to Diana's legacy, or was it a carefully designed move to take control of the monarchy's image? For generations, royal duties have followed a specific path: meetings behind closed doors, events planned months ahead, and strict protocols about who gets to speak and when. William and Kate broke all of that. They didn't ask. They didn't wait. They simply acted. And that made it hard for critics not to see strategy behind the scenes. After all, by centering their work around Diana, someone the public still adores, they connected instantly with millions of people. It made them look fresh, kind, and relatable, while other royals, especially Charles and Camilla, began to look out of touch or distant. This shift in public opinion wasn't accidental. It was the result of William and Kate carefully shaping their roles to match the values of today's world. And whether that's smart leadership or a power move depends on who you ask. The Diana initiative wasn't just about charity, it became a mirror reflecting the changes happening within the royal family. King Charles represents the old monarchy, quiet, formal, and steeped in tradition. He waited decades for his moment to reign. And now, just as he tries to step into that role, the spotlight shifts to the next generation. That must feel bittersweet. The people now seem more interested in William and Kate's projects than Charles's vision as king. Camilla, too, worked hard to be accepted by the public. For years, she remained in the background, building respect slowly and quietly. But when Diana's name returned to headlines, it felt like everything Camilla had worked for was in danger of being undone. The past returned with power. And once again, the nation was reminded of the emotional story behind Diana's struggles. For Camilla, it was personal. For Kate, it was about the future. But for the monarchy as a whole, it exposed a deeper problem: the royal family can no longer hide behind tradition. In a world of social media and instant connection, the crown must feel real, honest, and present. That's the new face of the monarchy, and William and Kate understand that better than anyone. Behind the beauty of the Diana initiative lies a more complex story. What began as a tribute has turned into a quiet revolution. William and Kate have shown the world what modern royalty can look like: active, emotionally aware, and unafraid to lead. But their rise has come at a cost. The royal family appears more divided than ever. There's no public shouting match. No dramatic speeches. Just silence, whispers, and subtle moves, each one saying more than words ever could. King Charles worries about losing control of the narrative. Queen Camilla feels overshadowed by a name she tried hard to move beyond. And Prince Harry, despite his heartfelt support, finds himself once again on the outside of a family he still cares deeply about. The tension is not about titles or money, it's about who gets to define the royal family's future. For years, the crown stood still while the world moved forward. Now, William and Kate have chosen to move with it. And in doing so, they're not just changing how the monarchy looks, they're changing what it means. Whether the rest of the family can adapt or will resist remains the biggest royal question of our time. As the dust settles from the Diana initiative's explosive debut, the future of the royal family feels uncertain, yet full of possibility. One thing is clear: the crown is no longer just about bloodlines and titles, it's about connection. People don't just want to be ruled, they want to be understood. William and Kate have become symbols of that understanding. They talk about mental health, domestic violence, environmental issues, and compassion, not as distant royals, but as partners in a shared journey with the public. That approach has made them wildly popular. But popularity alone won't fix the cracks in the royal foundation. Healing the divide within the family will take more than charity work or camera-friendly speeches. It will take real conversations, forgiveness, and a willingness to let go of the past. The Diana Initiative might be the first step in that process, or it could be the spark that burns the last bridges between family members already drifting apart. Whatever happens next, one truth remains: the monarchy is changing. Whether it becomes stronger or more fractured will depend on what the royals choose to do, not just in front of the cameras, but behind closed doors. But this new power also comes with risk. The same media that lifts them up can just as quickly turn on them. Royal watchers have already begun asking tough questions. If William and Kate can make moves without palace approval, what happens to unity within the royal system? If they continue to build their platform outside the traditional system, are they creating a separate monarchy of their own? These questions matter because they reveal something deeper: the royal family is no longer protected by walls of privacy and centuries-old rules. They live in a glass house, where every move is judged by millions. The Diana Initiative proved that William and Kate can harness that pressure. But whether the institution as a whole can survive under such constant public attention remains to be seen. The Diana Initiative has opened the door to a new kind of monarchy, one that leads with empathy, transparency, and action. William and Kate have shown what's possible when royals step outside their comfort zones. They're not waiting to inherit power. They're already using their platform to build something lasting. Whether you view their actions as bold or rebellious, there's no denying that they're changing what it means to be royal. And that might just be the monarchy's best chance at survival. The world doesn't want fairy tales anymore, it wants leaders who care, connect, and stand for something real. William and Kate have chosen to meet that moment. Now, it's up to the rest of the family to decide if they're ready to join them, or be left behind. Like, comment, and subscribe for more updates.